Hi, I'm doing the second phase, and this one over here will explain to you about the system and how they orchestrate the system to fool us, and we're gonna find out exactly what they did to us and how they're sitting and controlling us. Now, the United Nations was orchestrated in 1942 as a peace and security and promoting human rights, social progress, and a better living standard. That's what they want us to believe. You see, when anybody that comes now in this world that's sitting and being the president or the country or the United Nations or anybody, don't let them fool you. They come nice words, and then they want to come and make like they're going to make your life better. Do not be fooled now. Do not be fooled tomorrow. When you hear these words, just know they got another agenda for you. Because every time they come up with new things and try and fool us, all the time it is to make us more oppressed and to cause genocide, meaning they dare to kill us and rob us and do all the nasty things to us. Do not believe in these people. Alright? So now the United Nations is actually the hub, meaning the central place. You see the federal bank in the United Nations is actually the central bank. You see the New World Order. I know people's not going to want to listen to this here, but it's very important that you do listen, because a lot of us need to wake up and understand how this government, the system works, and how this world is working. Alright? So we didn't make them governments. We didn't make them be in control of us. They stole it from us. Just like how they conquered our lands and stole our mineral resources, all our riches. That is what they're doing now at the moment. So it's a whole system in the country also, like a corporation. And anyone that is a corporation, look and see if your country is a corporation. Then you'll understand that you are going through the same thing just like our people. And there is a biggest hidden secret, the reason why they're doing what they're doing today. Okay, so now this United Nations was actually formed. It's actually as I said to you, it's a hub, and they have got all the rules and regulations for every corporation, as long as your country is a corporation. What I'm talking about here is South Africa. But as I said to you at the beginning, when I give you this information, that means your country is going through the same exact thing, just like ours, right? We're in the same boat. We got the same history, we got the same future history, and we got the now history. So our lives are in the same situation, okay? So please listen to what I've got to say, but take it as your own country. I will be talking a little bit about South Africa, but it is to do with you also, okay? So now the United Nations is actually working just like the federal bank, and just like all these corporations, and just like the queen. The queen is not a queen, she's a second queen. She's working for somebody, just like the United Nations, just like the federal bank, just like the IMF, just like the Reserve Bank. Alright, they all are part and parcel of this whole control system. I'm emphasizing it so that you can get it into your brain. Now, this United States, the United Nations, formed unions in all the different continents, like the African Union, like the American Union, the Ocean, the Soviet, the Arabian, the Asian also, and the European. Okay, all these unions, when you look at them, they're 7 unions. And when you go to Revelations, you'll see the seals, and they also talk about the seals. Now, I need to tell you where you're going to get this document from, so you can have your own source and your own information. It's called Pactum de Singularis Caelum Globus. Now, Africa will have Pactum de Singularis Caelum Africa. Alright? Now, they all have got the same rules, same regulations, same things that they have to go through. So the laws is not made in your country. The laws is made there by the United Nations, and they just gotta sit and they just gotta make sure that everything that they do complies. Okay, so don't be fooled by these people. Now I'm going to talk about the Pactum de Singularis Caelum Globus. Okay, now the United Nations is Globus, and the African Union is Africa, and so is the other unions. Okay, so they formed the United Nations as a peace, but they actually formed as an alliance to conquer the world and rob us with our raw materials and our inheritance. They create war, like the First World War and the Second World War and the 911, and even South Africa with the faction fighting with the ANC and the Inkatha. All that is orchestrated by these people, saying that they're sitting and they're fighting for peace, they're fighting for human rights, they're fighting for all the good things all the time. They've got an agenda behind closed doors. Okay? So this ANC worked with the British. Why? The United Nations actually first put sanctions on South Africa to cripple us financially, just like the other countries. They cripple you in a different way. It's also to do with wars, and it's also to do with like the 911, and it's also to do with a whole lot of things that they've been doing. Alright, so in South Africa they crippled us with the sanctions because the Boer didn't want to negotiate with them, because the Boer took over in 1910 with the Union of South Africa. Alright, so eventually they became a Republic of South Africa, and these Boer took over South Africa, and Britain wanted the full control again, and the Boer didn't want to work with them, so they were playing hardball on them. And then that's when the ANC came in, and they worked with the British. Alright, they worked with the British to take control of South Africa again, to colonize South Africa again. The reason why I'm saying colonize, because they took it without the original people. They knew who we are, and because we were asleep, we didn't understand. And then the negotiations, when they did the constitution, and the constitution is also part of this corporation, which I will also explain to you, that they went to the United Nations and they did this anti-apartheid thing, and all the time they were all concocting against the original people of the South Africa. Alright, so even the African continent and the international countries, they all were working together and forming this alliance. And Mandela, when he took over, it was supposed to be this Messiah, and this Messiah came, and as a peace person, all the time it was nothing but a control system that they were sitting and plotting. And then behind us, without our knowledge, in 1988 Mandela signed our country over to them and put our country on the stock market, which is CIK 932419. CIK 932419. If you want to go and have a look, our country is on the stock market. Okay. Now, in the same document, as I said to you, that pactum means a pact. They made a pact, but they are not legal, so they're illegally doing this. Now, the United Nations, let me explain to you. You see, we got a creator, our Father. Alright, He's the only sole owner. I will explain to you. Even they have it in their documents, that He is the sole owner of this planet Earth, and His children, okay, His children, you will understand just now when I'm reading it out, who the children are. I've got the only trust, only they have got this trust, the highest trust in this whole world. Any law, even the United Nations, even the corporations, even a country, even the Constitution is nothing, because they're all illegal. They're fictitious. Okay, they're all fictitious. They're making you believe that they're in control, but they're controlling like they are our creator, and it's not true, because our creator did not give it to them. So they're illegally, but they have got a nice system that they work in, that one day, I want you to listen to what I'm going to be reading out. They're saying one day, when we wake up as Homo sapiens, alright, we must come together as a community to come claim back our country. We can do that. and there is a system that you have to do, which I will explain to you how you do it in court, okay? Because we're going to have to go to court. There are things that we have to do, but we all have to come together. That's why that pineal gland, you need to awaken it. You need to get away from what they are teaching you, what you feel that it is a right thing as being colored or whatever. Get away from that notion. I want to be called Homo sapien because it means spirited people, and that this is who I am, because my DNA is my pineal gland, my soul and my spirit, and being a child of our Father. This is our universe, okay? The United Nations says, this is what they say: we are the highest contracting parties of the united spirits of heaven, hell, and earth by our divine creator, which they're telling lies. Now, having conquered the world, they're saying they never conquered the world. No one gave them rights, even for South Africa. So every country, no one gave them that right. There was no original person that was part and parcel of all these deals that they were sitting and making. They were doing it behind our backs. The land, the sea, and air. They excluded the Homo sapiens, all right, in this pact, which is not legal. They are the hub of the corporation countries. All of them are corporation, even the United Nations. And this was an agreement between them, where the rightful owners, which is the Homo sapiens, have no right to govern themselves. All right, so they're governing for us, and I will tell you the reason why they're saying they're governing for us, because they have got their corrupt English language, as I said, a corrupt English language which they give to us. They send us to school, they teach us, they put some things into us. We've got to study it and have this exam, and all the time, all what they've been teaching us in the school, wherever, we need to take all that information, take it and put it in a dustbin. All that information, the geography, the maps, the history, even the names, places, rivers, all that, put it in the bin, because none of that is true. They told us lies. They told us lies about who we are, making us colors so that we can not know that we are the spiritual people. Alright? So rightful owners, which is the Homo sapiens, they have the right to govern themselves, meaning we have the right to govern ourselves. So we've got that right. They admitted in that globus, and we can go and claim it. Okay? Now that we're opening our pineal gland and we know who we are, we can go and claim it. Alright? Now let me show you how this is all in that document. It's 400 and something pages. It says our divine creator is the supreme deity and gods of all gods. Divine creator is the highest possible deity of all in the most perfect dimensions and existence. All authority of the divine creator is bestowed in a trust. They put it in a trust to the society of one heaven and no other. The absolute, the all, the is, the one, and the unique collective awareness. So we as one heaven, us, the society of one heaven, means the community of all the Homo sapiens, mean the spiritual people, meaning the people of color. All the regional people must come together, and then they can go to court and go and claim it. Okay? It is this one. Now this is our trust. This is our trust, the Homo sapiens. It is this one, true and absolute divine creator of all existence. Alright? Our Father has given us this land to live on, not them. We are the sole owners. Alright? We're the only ones that can go and claim this. Of all existence, who bestowed in this trust to all Homo sapiens, meaning the spiritual people, certain irrevocable means it can never be changed, and final. Alright? This is a final trust. It's never to be changed. And obligations in perpetual, meaning unlimited in time, and it's forever. So this trust can never be changed. Okay? So don't be scared. I will tell you how we're going to deal with this. Okay? Remembrance as trustees for all life on planet Earth. All Homo sapiens are the only ones that can claim this true trust. It's called a true trust. This is the highest trust that no law, corporation, and even the United Nations, because they all fall under a lesser and a false law. Okay, they're less than us because they are not even legal. We have got the divine rights, and this is the highest form of valid rights, whereby our divine capacity or faculty or power or authority or interest or privilege or benefit of a divine person associated with certain divine property and use is created, defined and bestowed by our divine creator in accordance with the most sacred covenant, which is the Singularis Caelum. Alright? Pactum de Singularis Caelum. This is the highest trust. Alright? All rights, therefore, are derived from the class of the valid divine rights. So we've got this, and we need to go and claim it. Now, I want to explain to you these countries of ours. They all formed an alliance, and they all are forming part of a corporation. Now, I need to explain to you what a corporation is. A corporation means it's corpse. C-O-R-P-S. Corporation means they are corpse. They are dead entity and devoid of life. As a dead entity, a corpse cannot own property. So, if the government cannot own property, I'm saying government, this corporation, this dead entity, if they cannot own property, how can we, if they did? Don't you think that we did also? They also take us dead as dead people. You know that they take us as animals. That is what they call us. Okay? Nor conduct affairs. They cannot conduct any affairs. Only except in suspended reality. So, I want you to listen to these words. Very, very important. Because they're saying except in suspended reality. Okay? They cannot own property. They cannot conduct affairs. Only in suspended reality, meaning that they have to now cause this racial discrimination. They've got to cause this havoc, and they have to, the media comes in and everybody comes in, and they're just causing this chaos and thing in our minds and putting the history, false history into us and not making us know who we are. So they got to actually suspend this reality of ours. They got to make us know that, you know, we are nothing. That is how it is. They mustn't know that we are important people. And preserve fictional illusions. So they'll come to our people, promise them this, promise them that, but it's never gonna happen. So with this, I'm telling you, this is from the United Nations document. As I said to you, they all got the same laws, and this is what they need to do. So everybody's getting paid. Zuma's getting paid. Whatever president that you got is getting paid. ANC, DA, EFF, all of them. They're all just getting paid just to cause chaos. They must cause this divide and rule in South Africa. The racial discrimination. We must all hate each other. And as long as we're causing this divide and rule in South Africa or any country, that's how long they can sit and keep control of us. And you know what? They're going worse and worse and worse with oppressing us. And they're saying that we're not slaves anymore. We are slaves. And I'm going to explain that to you also. Okay? So this thing here, what they're doing is only making us believe. Okay? It's a fictional illusion. And keep our minds occupied with chaos. And Mandela sold our country. As I said to you, Mandela, this ANC, the faction fighting that they were having, and as I said to you, they first did the sanctions, And then afterwards Mandela came in with this peace thing that and anti-apartheid. And then after that, without us knowing, first the country was nice and everyone was together and everyone's happy. Mandela's bringing peace, and behind closed doors he goes and he signs this document which actually sells our country away to the corporation. Okay, sells our country and on the stock market. All right, so this country and it is bad and also good thing for us. The reason why I'm saying Mandela did a bad thing, he sold our country, he put our country on the corporation, and by doing that, it's allowed us original people, all right, original people, the owners of this land, all right, to be more oppressed, to go into more slavery. So what is happening to our people? All right, the guns they're bringing in, the drugs, paying the drug lords big money to bring the drugs in and then keep us uneducated, unemployed, put us in flats where so much chaos goes on, and then the guns, you must kill each other. So much people are dying each day. That is part of the system. That is part of the system. Another way they will do it, like get our people unemployed, then they go internationally. So when you migrate, that means you're not part and parcel of the country anymore. So now you can't come and claim. So the lesser that you are, the better it is for them. That's why they wouldn't want us to be employed. And that's why they encourage other countries to take our people to come over there. Because the more we go over, the more control they're going to be taking of us, right? That's also one of the plots. Another one is where they inject our people, and a lot of people that die without them even knowing. They say they got cancer. How do we know we got cancer? We go for the chemo. The chemo is actually the thing that actually kills a person. So there's a lot of things that they're doing to kill our people. All right. So now I'm hearing in Cape Town they're bringing the army in because of all the killing that is going on over there with all the gangsterisms and the choke thing. So bringing that thing, that is martial law. I hope that y'all do know that's martial law. They're saying they're bringing it in to come and solve the problem there in Cape Town, but it's not. Now they're actually going more and more worse. And our babies that died, that was taken and whatever, they went missing, and you find the bodies, that is also part and parcel of it. And for us not to have babies, and even without you even knowing, you wonder why you can't fall pregnant, because they inject things in you that you mustn't be able to fall pregnant. The abortions, the reason why they think with the abortions, they make it look like it's such a nice thing all the time, that it's actually a depopulation. This whole thing is to do with depopulation, okay? But it's gonna be worse. So please, Mandela did a good thing by signing this country over. Now it gives us this right. This is the right that we need. And I'm so happy he did it. Now that our eyes are open, I'm now so happy that he did it. Because now we can go and claim. Okay? There is a system that we need to use. You can't just go and do it. We have to work together. We have to educate each other. And we have to stand together as a community. I'm not just talking community, as South Africa, as the original people, to go and claim this right. Okay? We have got it. And we don't even need a lawyer. Go look at the word in propria persona. INPROPRIA. In propria persona. You don't need a lawyer. I'll explain to you just now how is it that we don't need a lawyer. We didn't even know that we don't need a lawyer. Okay? The corporation, the body, the government that is fraudulently ruling us. Okay? These are all part of the system. The Reserve Bank, the banks, the hospitals, churches, courts, schools, tertiary and university, the media, and so many other more. Anyway, I won't explain all of them, but anyway, you just need to know that the whole system that we're living in, everything is part of this corporation, this dead entity, this fictional illusion. Alright? So the Seskie V Trust, what happens? It was formed in 1666. Just say like you in your mother's womb and you come out of this canal, alright? And you give birth. You come from this water in your womb, right? Just like a ship comes from the water, and that's why they say the Suez Canal and the Panama Canal, and then you come to the harbor, and then they offload the goods, and that's how we also offloaded when we are born. And then the doctor catches you, and then the nurse takes you to the nursery. Now, when you are taken to the nursery, that this is them now, all right? We found this out, that when you are taken to the nursery, you become abandoned. Your mother abandons you. So you actually just become an orphan. Alright? So your parents goes and registers you with the birth certificate. Now that birth certificate, alright, they put it in capital letters. Now when they put it in capital letters, that means that now you are a John Doe. You are dead. Alright? You are John Doe. So whenever they tell you any form that you fill in, you will see they'll ask you. Notice now how they will ask you put it in capital letters, and they will tell you put it in a black pen. There's a reason for it. So if you want to come and query your documents afterwards, it's in black pen. So they won't give you the original document because that document's already sold. I'll explain that also. Alright? Now on the right hand side, okay, everyone has got their own, where there's a number in red. Alright? So you are now with this birth certificate sold on the stock market for $1 million. I don't know if it's rands or dollars. I think it's dollars. Alright? So you already sold. So your government already sells you because you are John Doe, right? On the stock market. Now, government uses that same document, alright? That same document. So when they take loans, just like our president now, he says he wants so much billion rands. He phones the Reserve Bank in the USA and he will ask them for money. No problem, they will get it. Because now you supposed to be as a person. You know what person means? A thing. Alright? Person means thing. Everything that they do, it always has a meaning. Right? So you now are a slave. It's a slave system that they're doing. Before they used to have slavery. Now it's a silent slave, but it's even worse. Because you don't see it and you don't know it. Without you knowing, you're actually a slave. So you go and work and you pay your tax and your VAT and all these things, and you are paying off, and even your mineral resources, when they can't pay, they just take it from the mineral resources and the government gives it. So this government can go and just take loans and you just sitting and paying and you getting nothing out of it and nothing comes your way. So when you are invested on that market, you're supposed to be getting shares from it and you get nothing. When you look at all these other countries, they give their money. Alright? That's why when you go to Australia, you don't have to work. Your children are getting sorted, but the only thing is now, they give you that money, but then, okay, we are still also the same, but at least they're getting money. We're not even getting money, but the government is in control even of our children. Like I see in America, where if you do anything to your child, they can even come take your child away, you know, things like that there. So they have these social workers and whatever. So you are actually now this orphan. Now they're in control of your child. That's why your child must go to school. They teach you. You're not going to school to be educated. You see what education means? Education means that they are drumming things into you for you to, what they want you to know. Intellectual means, intelligence means that you are finding things out for yourself. Now you start seeing things in a different light. You educating yourself. That is intelligence. Alright? So when they say you educated, educate you, alright? So you are now kind of like a machine that they put things in over there, and they say you how you must go left and how you must go right, and what road you can't cross and how you must drive and things like that. They tell you how to live. So you are now in a worse prison. You are actually in a prison state. Alright? You're not free. Okay? So now you can actually go and claim that same money. You can go and claim, because they did it without your knowledge and without our parents knowing, and because they hid things away from us, you can go and claim that money. You are worth millions of rands, and that is what each and every one can do. Okay, that is something that you must look on. If you want to, you can go and look at Strawman. Okay, look under Strawman and look under SESQ Trust. There's a lot of information that is on the internet, but don't worry about that, because we will be giving, there is a man, his name is Frank O'Collins. He does a lot of info on the internet, and he even tells you what to do when you go to court and how you go to court, and he also explains the canon laws. So whoever's interested, whoever wants to be leaders and to help the others, take the initiative, study it, groom yourself. Okay, we have done this in South Africa. I know people have done it abroad, and I know America is dealing with this thing a lot. But go and listen to Frank O'Collins. He even tells you how to go to court, what to say, what to do. He's worked very hard. He's done all the canon laws, explaining to you their dictionary, how they work, all right, and what laws and how to go to court and what to do. He's even got a video about what to do to go to court and how to go and deal with it, okay? So they take these loans from the federal bank, and you pay as a worker, and you pay taxes, okay? You sold in the stock market, and the corporate bodies use a birth certificate, which I'll explain later. All the corporation bodies, as I said to you, the bank, the federal bank, the SASSA, the federal bank, everybody is using the birth certificate. Everybody. Alright? They use the SESQ Trust. It's your trust. And we need to go and collapse that. We need to take it away from them. The minute we take that SESQ away from this government, they bug it. Because then they know they cannot do anything. That's how we can cripple them. Okay? So we need to collapse the SESQ Trust and claim our money. We can do that. Now there's another one, which is the Pope. The Annam Santam Trust. Alright? Now the Pope now, when your child now goes and gets baptized. Now you see, I don't blame the priests. I'm not against priests, but some of them do know what they're doing. I don't blame teachers. I don't blame any doctors or nurses. Please, these people that are innocent. So please, I'm not getting at you. They're also caught in this corrupt system. Alright? Please know that. So now the Pope owns your soul, the land, the sea, and the air. This Annam Santam Trust. He says that they own, just like the United Nations, they're saying that they're owning the land, the sea, and the air. And that's what the Pope also says, because the Pope also works for the same people, right? The Pope, the Queen, the United Nations, the Federal Bank, the IMF, everybody, all these corporations, they're all working for the one system. Okay? You have now become cargo of souls because of your birth certificate. Now you thinking your mother's going to go and baptize you all the time. Your mother's giving you over, your parents are actually giving you over, your soul, your child's soul, over to the Pope. Now that's why you become cargo of souls. So when you get confirmed, that's why they said we are getting confirmed. Alright? So now when you're getting confirmed, you are actually of age to give consent as an adult for them to take full control of your land and your mineral resources and all your heritage. So you are giving them all power without you knowing that you are giving it over to the Pope. And so you confirm that you are a minor when you say you are born again. That is why they use that word, born again. You know these safe churches? So you actually give them full reign and full power. So when you are confirmed, you're actually giving them consent to take full control of everything of yourselves. So you see, they use their own dictionary, they use their own words to actually manipulate the system and take away things that is not even theirs. Alright, so don't get confirmed, don't get baptized, don't, because actually our Father's in our hearts, in our souls, in our minds, communicating with Him to break the system down, and then we take full control, then we do it in the right way. Okay, now in the church, what they do, they say, I did say the ship comes through water. I'll explain that to you just now about the court system. I just want to explain to you about the original sin and what does it mean in the church for them. Okay, we got our own reason why we're going, because we now we are, I would say, guilty that we have sinned. So we go to the church and we go to the priest now, and the Catholics go in that box and say I've sinned and whatever. But it's the original sin justifies a concept or head to salvage the souls of the people through grace. So when you are born, you know what the Sesquiu we trust, they say you are born a sinner. Alright, so now you actually, without you knowing, you're going to go to church. Alright, you are, everything in the church is to do with sin. Alright, you're a sinner, that's why you're coming to church. Alright, it also means people are born in debt, so you must be staying in debt, you must be staying oppressed. Everything that you're doing, the way we are living now, it is all part of a syndicate that they've been doing. So therefore, without trial, they are lawfully slaves until the Romans, you see, we become slaves without us knowing, right? So we are now, alright, being in debt, therefore without trial, we are lawfully slaves until they're even admitting the Roman control. Who's the Romans? Who's the Romans? The same people, this 1% that control us. The Pope is the Romans. Alright, they're all Roman. The Roman cult. The Vatican is the Roman cult. The Jews are the Roman cults. They're all part and parcel of this. You will find out who all these people are together. Until the Romans control the energy of the world. Most control concept of the world. They're the most control concept of the world. Alright, it's a concept that they use to control the world, and that is why they're so rich today, because we are nothing but slave, and they're even making it worse now. So you, no more just you that as a father that can go work and support your family. Today you have to go, you and your wife must go to work. Alright, and then that money is not even enough now. Now you're paying this big sum to go to school for your children to go and learn what? Not even a school. You're paying so much. You're taking your child to the best school to go and learn how to be controlled. To put information into that child's brain to manipulate her whole mind and whole system. We can't break these people down by these small things. We can't break them down and say, listen, okay, we have got the right to go to court, but I'm saying there's so many other ways we can also break them down. Alright? So we have to take them out of this country. We have to break this corporation. We have to delete them. Not even when you're voting. Even when you are voting for the same people to sit and control and take control of your life. Okay? So now, penance means now when you go and confess. That is, you know what penance means? It means punishment. Alright? So now, because you're a sinner, you go and you ask for forgiveness. Now you're going to the Pope. Do you know that you are knowingly consenting to punishment, and after willingly asking for forgiveness for your sins to crime and penance? Without us knowing, we are keep on going, and without our knowledge that we are falling into the trap. Alright? We're falling into the trap. But we got our Holy Spirit. We got our Father in our souls. We've got Him. We are the people. So we have to just ask more. We have to ask our Father to guide us and lead us. Jehovah and Jesus to stand by us. Okay? So there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions that I am actually asking. Okay. Now the court, as I said to you, that ship. You see that ship, that ship that comes down the water, as I said to you, when we are born, and they come by the harbor. Now every law in this country is to do with that water, with the sea. Because that sea now is actually where all our souls are. That is where it is. So they brought all the soul, the laws from the sea onto the land, which is all fictitious. So every law that they brought, that they bring in here in this country, nothing is legal. Did you know that? Nothing is legal. So the court also works to do with that law from the sea. But they now as a vessel. This court is like a vessel. You see that vessel that comes by the harbor? The judge is actually the captain of that ship. It's not a court. They make us believe it's a court. So that goes to show they bring in that fictional law into the land and into the court itself. Alright? So that court is all fictional. It's not reality. There's nothing that's reality. There's nothing that is true. Our laws is the law of the land. Alright? Our law. What our father's laws is the law of the land. That's our father's laws. Because they took away our father. They took away our father's children. And they kind of dumped us there in the sea. That is what they did. So now we need to go and take our souls out of that sea. Because they made us lost. So now we need to go and take those souls out of that sea. And even that unassumptive trust, we have to de-baptize ourselves to get the Pope away from his control over us. Okay? So now we need to bring our Father back onto this, where he is in control now. We need to bring him back onto this land. Okay? Because as far as they're concerned, they dumped him with us there at the sea. So we have to bring him back. So the court now is a vessel and the judge is the captain of the ship. He is, whoever the judge is, they are there to punish us for our sins. So can you see, we're born sinners. Church, we are sinners. In the courts, we are sinners. So that's why we get judged. Judgments, like our Father is supposed to be judging us, they are judging us. Okay? That's why we are being judged. That's why we have a judge. Do you know what a lawyer is? A lawyer is only there to talk for us, or the prosecutor is only there to talk for us. Why? Because we are John Doe, we dead. Remember I told you we were abandoned in the hospital? So we already born being abandoned. So now we are John Doe with our birth certificates. We are John Doe. So that is why when you say your name, when you go to court, you mustn't say your name. And this is one thing I'm going to tell you now. Do not say your name. Even if they're phoning you for an account, don't say your name. They won't even worry you after that. That's how we can break the banking system down. Don't say your name. When you say your name, you're admitting, and that is how they take money out of your SESQ trust. It's only nothing but a money game. Even though they're not getting the money out of you, if you're owing money in the bank, even though you're not thinking, don't give your name, because all they're doing, even the lawyers, when they go to the court, they are taking money out of you. The minute you say your name in the court, when they say, are you this, that, and you, even if you nod, even if you just put your hand up, as long as you're making some gesture, do not even do that. Don't even say your name. Okay? Your name is very important, because the minute you mention your name, that means you're John Doe. Okay? That's one thing you need to do. As I said to you, go there to the sites I told you to go to, and then you go and learn, alright, how to work the system. They are all there for your SESQ trust. Okay, I'm gonna make another video about the courts and how to work the court. for the people that want to go. And as I said to you, Franco Collins has done enough job already. He's got all the information, whatever you need. So please go to his site. Okay, go learn there. If you don't understand, I suppose he's also going to communicate with you. And the reason why we need to take over, because we're the only Aboriginal people that can take over South Africa again. I'm talking about us, just like how you are. If you know that you are the Aboriginal, you're the Negro people, or you're the colored people, or the people of color, whatever they called you, and whoever went through slave trade, we all are the same people. Well, if your history is the same, your colors, the color of your skin, meaning your people of color, means that you are the original people. Okay, but we're gonna come in peace and harmony into this world, because now we are our creator's people, and we are there for peace. Okay, we must bring peace onto this land, and no more racial discrimination, no more we're not going to be ugly people, and it's going to be to do what the main thing will be is to bring our father back onto this land. Okay, and into our hearts and our souls. Okay, I'm saying heart meaning our souls, and into our lives, so that we can get rid of all these people that's doing all these wrong things to us. Now the banks, I'm gonna leave it off here with the bank story. I'm just gonna stop there by the Siskiyou We Trust, because I don't want this video to go too long. Just now I'm able to send it off over to you, so I'll do another video. Okay, thanks. I'll tell you how the system works. Thank you.